wanted to give the Twitter love to who it was due. Jim got some Twitter love from one of our followers. She says, I love listening to you guys, and I would never want to pick favorites. But Jim's smooth, dark, chocolatey, velvet voice is awesome.
I am the secret weapon of the Walking Dead TV podcast. Thank you very much.
I won't out the listener, but that's always kind when somebody says something nice about any of us.
That is great. And I'd like to say something nice about our sponsor, too, before we get a little too far into the news. DCBService.com. If you say, we're talking tonight about Walking Dead issue 100 after the break, we'll get a little spoilery. But if you want to catch up on the comics in the off-season while we're waiting for season 3, the most economically effective and cheapest way to do that is DCBService.com. You can save 30, 40, sometimes 50% on all of your new comics, graphic novels, the Walking Dead Compendium, the Walking Dead hardcovers, the trades, however you want to read the comics and catch up. That also counts toward Walking Dead merchandise, action figures, t-shirts, you name it. Check out their site, DCBService.com. And if you use the code WD8 in your first-time order, or you haven't ordered anything from them in a year, you get an extra 8% off on top of their already insane discounts. It's a great place to get your comics and other great people at DCBService.com.
So just to echo what Jim said and run down some of the specials this month and some of the ongoing stuff they have. So the New 52, as you know with DC, they've restarted their comics back from number 1. They've got 52 ongoing series as well as a couple miniseries and other stuff that they've thrown in there from time again. But they're actually doing, coming up right after the issue 12s, they're doing 55 issues that are numbered 0. And if you order them in a bundle, you can get them for 50% off at DCBS, which is an awesome deal. If you've been into what DC's doing with the New 52, then that's a great way to take advantage of sampling not just the launch titles, but they've rotated some in and rotated some out, so it's kind of a good way to sample some new stuff as well. The Girl with Dragon Tattoo hardcover is also 50% off, so that they've actually translated the books and the movies, I should say, as well into comic book form. So if you've been waiting to get that in trade, the hardcover is half off, which is excellent. The other thing you can do at DCB Service is you can earn 5% of your Comixology orders. If you go to the DCBS homepage and place Comixology orders through DCBS, they'll refund 5% of your purchase through your DCBS orders. When you combine that with the WD8 code, and if you buy some digital comics, you can get yourself a stacked discount even better. Especially right now.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Depending on when you listen to this, it started July the 10th, and I think it was going for 6 days total, so it'll be between now and July 15th. They have all of the Walking Dead issues in digital form through Comixology for half off. They've even got special digital omnibuses that collect 33 issues apiece. All of the single issues are all at 99 cents. The trades have been bundled at their $4.99 apiece, which is 6 issues for $4.99. Those omnibuses, which have 33 issues, are $25.99 in the digital form. So you can, like we said, you can take advantage of great savings at Comixology through DCBS. So there you have it. We thank them for their sponsorship as always.
Very cool. So let's jump into the first bit of news. And as we speak, Comic-Con in San Diego is just starting. And we'll be running through, I guess, Sunday. I believe they're Wednesday through Sunday over there.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of stuff on Wednesday or Sunday, but the rest of the days will be very big.
Preview night.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are lucky enough to be at San Diego Comic-Con, or unlucky enough, depending on how you want to look at it and how much the people around you are sweating profusely, you might be able to pick up some really awesome Walking Dead exclusives, in addition to many other awesome movie, comic book, video game, and other toy exclusives that they have there. So here's some of the Walking Dead ones that they have available in San Diego just for these few days, or later on eBay for a much, much higher price. There is a Walking Dead Rick and Zombie Mini-Mate 2-pack. Now, Mini-Mates are those little, they're almost like Lego minifigures, except they're a little bit taller, they're made of a soft plastic, and usually they're superheroes or something like that. But here we've got Walking Dead Rick and a zombie. This is the first that's being released, but there will be more sets in the future with a bunch more different characters. Then there's a Walking Dead Governor t-shirt, and it's a black t-shirt with black and white artwork on it and the words "Kill them all." We won't go into that any further to avoid spoilers. There's also, of course, the Walking Dead issue 100, which we'll be talking about later. There are 7 different covers available for the Walking Dead issue 100 at San Diego Comic-Con.
And there's more than that in the retail stores. There's the 8 conventional covers, there's the chromium cover, and then there's, I think, there's Comixology has their own cover, there's a San Diego variant, and then there's like a 1 in 200 variant or something like that. So there are a lot of ways you can appreciate or not issue 100.
There's also a very special action figure. This is the Walking Dead Bloody Poncho Michonne. This is the regular Michonne action figure, but her poncho is covered in fake blood, so that's pretty cool. And that's has a price tag of $25, by the way.
Speaking of Michonne real quick, a friend of the show, Buzz, comic book artist, is in Artist Alley at San Diego Comic-Con, and he has a special San Diego exclusive print of Michonne with her 2 zombie pets, and it is great. I posted the artwork on our Facebook group if you want to take a look at it, but he's definitely worth looking up at San Diego Comic-Con to get that exclusive print. That is one of the finest depictions of that character I've ever seen. He really nailed it.
Buzz is an insanely talented artist.
Even the lettering, he did the lettering of The Walking Dead above the picture of Michonne, all in zombie parts. And if you look at the lettering, it's just incredibly detailed. Like I said, check it out on the Walking Dead TV Podcast Facebook group. You can get a good look at the art and see what you're in for, but that's one of his exclusives at San Diego Comic-Con. It's definitely worth checking out if you're there.
I have commissioned 2 pieces of art from Buzz over the years, and they both completely and utterly blow me away. So good stuff indeed.
Next up, if you have $85 to spend and are missing a wristwatch, there's a special Walking Dead wristwatch that has a picture of Rick based on his appearance in issue 100, which I will say, Google the image of this watch at your own risk if you haven't read the comics and want to avoid spoilers. And it's a watch that will be signed by Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adlard.
Has the watch ever been a spoiler before? I can't think of one.
I don't think so, but yeah, those of us who read the comics can probably guess at exactly what would be the spoiler, but I don't want to give it away for anybody else. And I believe there's also, I don't have it on this list here, but I believe there's also that super special edition of issue 100 that's like, got all the extra swag in it, which you guys can Google because it's pretty neat. So if you're at Comic-Con this week or just browsing eBay later, that's what you can expect to find. Oh, and there's one other piece of Walking Dead exclusive San Diego Comic-Con merch, but it's connected to our next story, and that is yet another Walking Dead video game that has been announced. This one is going to be a first-person shooter developed by Terminal Reality Games, and you will be playing the game as Daryl Dixon. It takes place before the show, and it's him and his brother as they trek through Georgia and surrounding areas, I'm assuming, dodging zombies, killing zombies, and eventually, if we can assume from the way the show starts, making their way to a camp with some very familiar survivors. The game's going to have you conserving ammo, searching different buildings, and also avoiding zombies who will sniff you out and also be able to locate you based on sound. It sounds like it might have some survival horror elements as well.
I don't know, it's kind of a mixed bag here. On one hand, you have Activision, which is the house that Call of Duty built. You know, they have that proprietary first-person shooter engine at their disposal. But on the other hand, the studio they passed this off to is Terminal Reality, and their last game was the Star Wars Kinect game, which was not really fondly regarded by anyone. And the last Ghostbusters downloadable game, also not an incredible effort. So, I don't know, I'm just going to be cautiously optimistic about this one. Again, I mean, if you can imagine, like, the Call of Duty engine running a Walking Dead first-person shooter, that's great potential, especially the Dixon Brothers or what have you. I just worry about the studio they passed it off to. I'd be a little happier if they'd given it to Treyarch or one of the other first-person shooter studios that they have.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, the good thing is it's using that engine. So from a technical perspective, it's kind of hard to screw that up unless they just really cheap cheapen up on the textures and things like that. But given that they're not going to have to focus on engine, the engine itself, they can just focus on the gameplay. That might definitely be to its advantage. So I imagine Treyarch or one of those studios would, A, they're probably too busy alternating with Call of Duty, and B, they probably would have charged a freaking arm and a leg to put a game like that out, and it probably would have taken a lot longer. So yeah, I'd be curious. I have the Star Wars Connect game, and if I was 12, I'd probably be all over it in a big way. But I'm not 12, so it was kind of childish and silly.
Now, the game will be released next year. They haven't given a specific date yet, but next year sometime. It'll be coming to PC, Xbox 360, and PS3 for sure. I'm not sure of any other platforms. Those are the only ones I see listed here, but the three big ones for sure.
Is it going to be on the Atari 2600?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, but if that news story pops up, I'll keep you posted for sure.
One more thing, Jordan, just talking about art, and then we kind of went on, but it is tied into San Diego Comic-Con. For those listeners out there that appreciate nice art, especially related to The Walking Dead, Google Greg Capullo Walking Dead poster. Greg Capullo has done the Season 3 premiere poster for The Walking Dead, the AMC premiere poster, and it's pretty phenomenal. And if you're not familiar with Greg Capullo, he's a comic artist that drew Spawn for many years, and he has a very, very current and well-regarded run on DC's Batman comic. And I think in large part he's responsible for, him and Scott Snyder are responsible for Batman being the top-selling DC book right now. But the art on Walking Dead, this Walking Dead poster is just excellent, and it definitely fits in with last year's Tim Bradstreet poster. So definitely check it out. It's worth taking a look at. And I've met Greg Capullo at a con before, and he is the coolest guy you'll ever meet. He is so into the fans and so gracious. So if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, Greg Capullo's there. Even if the line is long, if you're a fan of his stuff, it's worth waiting in line because he will sit and chat with you, and he's not one to just hurry you on. But definitely check it out.
Very cool. Yeah, if I didn't know better, I would think that was the same artist as the poster from last year because it's a very similar look and very cool looking. Now, one last bit about the Walking Dead first-person shooter video game. There is a trailer out. It doesn't show any gameplay footage yet, but it's a cool nifty trailer. It's only about a minute long. But like I mentioned before, there is a Walking Dead San Diego Comic-Con exclusive involved here, and that is if you happen to be at San Diego Comic-Con and you are one of the first 100 people to pre-order in person, has to be there, you will get one of 100 limited edition ear necklaces. That's right, you can get a recreation of Daryl's necklace with 4 severed ears on it for your very own, if that's what you want for some reason. So that's kind of gross, but hey, I didn't design it.
Yeah, this vision of hundreds of Dixon Fixins fighting each other for the 100 ear necklaces.
Yeah, at least on the bright side, I guess they could split it up and give 400 individual Vixens one ear, but they wouldn't get the whole necklace experience that way.
A good friend of mine plays a game called Arma. It's a very true-to-life army simulation game. It's like one of the most hardcore PC first-person shooters there is. And now they have you can get it. It's available on Steam, and it's only for about $20. But for Arma now, there's a mod, and it's called DayZ, and not Daisy the flower, Day dash the letter Z. And basically, what happens after you install the mod, you drops your person in the middle of a town with no food, no rations, no gun, no weapon at all, and you have to survive in a zombie apocalypse setting. It's very true-to-life, very much a survival horror, emphasis on the survival. You have to find clean water to drink, and you also have to find weaponry to defend yourself. I mean, my friend was playing and told me he finally found a gun, and it was like he'd been playing for a couple of 2 or 3 days, and he finally found a gun, and it was like a huge deal for him to have a gun with ammunition in it after playing as long as he had. It's supposed to be a really hardcore simulation of the zombie apocalypse that we all know that's coming. So check it out. It's DayZ. It's a mod for Arma, and you get the whole thing for about $20 if you're interested on Steam.
So yeah, so you're saying Arma 2 is only $20 and then the mod is free, and it's PC exclusive, I believe.
It is, and there's also a thing going on now on some of the servers where very much like what we see in Walking Dead, both the show and comic, there are different factions popping up with players working together in common causes, in groups and in packs, and fighting each other as well. So there's like a player versus player aspect to it as well. It's not just surviving against the zombies; you're trying to survive against the other survivors as well. So it's really cool. It's an ongoing. They keep, there are new versions of the mod almost weekly to fix things as it goes on. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun if you really want that hardcore survival experience.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few videos of it online, and it seems definitely hardcore would be the word. Very complicated, lots of different things you can do, and lots and lots of zombies to kill. Now, while we're on the video game tick, let's switch over to the Telltale video game for The Walking Dead, which just released episode 2, I believe, last week, almost exactly a week ago. I played episode 2 today. Brad has also played it. Brad, do you want to start off with your thoughts on episode 2 as compared to episode 1 and on its own?
I'll just say it. I haven't been real impressed with this game or the gameplay. It's pretty slow. It's pretty boring. I realize this is heresy because we're all zombie fans, but I'm just not impressed by this game. It's not horrible. I mean, I've played worse games, but I guess what I'm discovering is that I'm not really a fan of the point-and-click adventure game. There's really not a lot of decision-making. It builds itself as you get to choose, what you say to the person or how you want to play the game. But, I get the feeling that it's really, the story's really going to follow one direction regardless of what you pick. So, I don't know. I just am not excited about the next one that comes around. I don't even know if I'll bother playing it. I realize that what I just said there was a bunch of rambling and stuff, but you can see how excited I am about this game.
No, hey, you're entitled to your opinion, but just to be clear, you thought the same thing about episode 1, right? You don't think episode 2 is a step down from the first one?
No, I don't. I was just as unimpressed with episode 2 as I was episode 1. I thought I would, give it another chance, and that's why I downloaded episode 2 and played it. And so, yeah, the answer to your question is it was the same experience for me.
Okay, well, that's just good to make clear, just because for people like me who like Episode 1, I also rather like Episode 2. Point-and-click games also not really my forte, although I don't mind them. I do have to say that as point-and-click games go, this is a speeding bullet train ride compared to some of them. Many